the league. Please don't ask why I'm shouting, because me, I'm just an Arsenal wife by association. Arsenal fan by association, by marriage, association. You get me? But we won the league. First time in 22 years. I'm just so happy because my husband is happy. But you're tuned to Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And my name is Fobi Bangala. This is the daily news review program where we run through the headlines and then we tackle the ones that have caught our eye. With our analyst this morning, Buki Femi Ajala is here with us already. We are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website, www.wfm917.com. What else? The phone lines will be open shortly, but you can start sending in your text messages to 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. Now that is out of the way, let's get into the headlines for this morning. Starting off with the Punch newspaper. Let me just prepare your mind that for the next maybe 2 weeks, all we're going to be seeing is the APC primaries. The results from it, the backlash from it, the outrage from it, the pushback from it. We're going to be seeing that. That's all that's in the news. We're forgetting that life still goes on, but that's really all that's in the news. So don't be like, but we talked about this yesterday. Well, yeah, that's what is in the news. Okay. APC primaries, governorship aspirants shun consensus deal in 10 states. What this means is that, as you've been seeing in other cases, they say, oh, step down for this person. Oh, let's field one person. So governors are like, I'm going to go by myself. But the problem is that if you go by yourself, whatever you see is whatever you see. That's what's been causing the premium tears that we've been seeing from grown men who do not return to power. Yeah. Obi, unfazed by Jonathan threat, says focus is on rebuilding Nigeria. One thing that I think I still raise my eyebrow a little bit when it comes to Peter Obi, because I'm like, are you saying the things that you think Nigerians want to hear, or are these things you're saying, are they really and truly what's the Oyinbo for it, what you feel for Nigeria? I don't know. Moving on to the Guardian newspaper, we have Turaki-led PDP waives screening for Jonathan. They said because Jonathan had been deputy governor, then vice president, then president. And I was asking myself, what are the metrics to say somebody what are the metrics to screen a person? What are the metrics to clear the person for whatever position they are vying for? The last time Jonathan was in power was in 2015. So when you say you're waiving the screening, couldn't something have happened between then and now? But our nation builder analysis in the house. So I'm gonna ask about it, because that's the same way they waived screening for the sitting president, current president, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu in APC. And I'm wondering, what is this thing about waiving screening? I don't get it. NCAA, moving on to the next one, tightens health surveillance at airports over Ebola outbreak. We saw this in the news at the beginning of the week. So please be careful out there. Be careful. And I'm glad that the NCDC and the NCAA have been on top of this as soon as they caught a whiff of it. One thing that our health sector will do, they come ready despite the constraints that they have or that they experience in that sector. They do all that is in their possible best to make sure that we are protected. So many thanks to our health practitioners, doctors, nurses, every single person, professors, every single person in that sector. In this day newspaper, we have Rotimi Amechi says, I didn't purchase ADC form to be VP to anybody. Boom, O'Shea drops mic. He say, I did not purchase ADC form as president, ADC presidential form, ADC form in the first place to be VP. I'm vying for presidency. So in the ATC, we had Amechi, Atiku, who's the third person? I'm trying to remember the third person. And then we also had Kwankwaso and Obi, but then Kwankwaso and Obi are no longer in ADC because they moved to NDC. So we now have 3 people vying for presidency in the ADC. I'm still trying, my memory, the third person. Okay. Moving on to this day, also we have witness to court. Ribadu admitted holding chats El Rufai received from wiretapping. Okay. In the Daily Trust, we have Ondo government orders closure of schools ahead of APC assembly election. Are they closing down the schools because of the safety of the students, because of what they fear might happen during the APC election? Like, are we already anticipating dissension and tension and fighting? Okay. I want to say it's not that deep for the elections, but we know that, I mean, we saw all the outrage and backlash over the weekend. So let me just keep my comments to myself. How EFCC arrested convicted ex-minister Maman. That is the former minister of power. Last week, if you recall, we talked about how a judgment had been given in his absence because they couldn't find him, but now they found him and now they've arrested him. But the question is, this arrest that you're arresting this person, are we actually going to see it manifest? Is it going to be in prison, or is there going to be hanky-panky? Because it's one thing to say, oh, we have arrested somebody, is another thing to actually carry out the rule of law when it comes to this the conviction that he has received. In the Vanguard newspaper, we have your school abduction, 2-year-old toddler among 46 victims. When I saw this, I was so saddened because I have a 3-year-old. He literally just turned 3, and God forbid, God forbid. And this is why I'm so passionate about what is the government doing. It just seems like all eyes, like I mentioned at the beginning, are on the primaries, are on election come 2027, that the real things, the real issues affecting the real people in Nigeria, nobody's really paying that much attention. We just say, oh, efforts are being put in place. Oh, efforts are being put in place. But is that all we're going to eat? Efforts are being put in place. Who is going to be brought to book? And I said this last year when students were being abducted in Borno. I kept on saying in Niger State as well. I kept on saying people need to be brought to book. Why are we negotiating with these people? There's no reason whatsoever, because when you negotiate with them and you give into their terms, what you're doing is you're emboldening them to go over and beyond, or to do more. I'm just so tired. Premium Times newspaper, we have how some people claimed I planned to kill Tinubu to take over power, says Vice President Shatima. Also on the Premium Times, we have Shaware refuses to enter defense in cyberbullying trial, writes Chief Judge for case transfer. In the Nation newspaper, we have 2027, obtain your PVCs. Obedient movement urges Nigerians. Me too, I'm adding my voice to that. Please obtain your PVCs. Please, I beg you, obtain your PVCs. SDP wants INEC against interference. This has been since last year, actually when we had a new INEC chairman who is Professor Josh Amopiton, and there's been different, rumors, talk here and there that he's a Tinubu apologist, that he's a Tinubu supporter, and things like that. So SDP saying, well, come, we're not doing that. Don't interfere in our business, okay? Now, moving on to the cable newspaper, we have Nigerian extradited to the US over romance scams, faces 40 years in prison. See, I don't know why you're doing scam. Yes, the country is turning on its own. Yes, the economy is not smiling, but what is the English of it? Entering crime, going into crime, because when the hand of the law comes upon you, that's it. And so look at this Nigeria now, 40 years in prison. NBA anti-corruption chair warns lawyers against putting financial gain over justice. Say it again, no. Warn them over putting financial gain against justice. Moving on to the Daily Post, we have PDP affirms 11 consensus candidates for Benue rep seats ahead of 2027 elections. This is so interesting because, to be honest, I thought everybody had left PDP. I mean, I know they haven't, but you get me. Lagos appoints Oseni as new medical director of Gbagada General Hospital. Moving on to the Tribune newspaper, we have Atiku is serious about 2027 presidential election, says aid. All the best to all of them. Governor Abdulrazak endorses Yahaya Seriki as preferred successor. That's Governor Abdulrazak of Kwara State. And there's been pushback actually in Kwara State saying that as how that's your business if you want to, if he's your successor, but we're not going with that. Finally, today in the pen pushing newspaper, we have Kebbi Hisba arrests man hiding in bag at married woman's house. Moving on, police kill kidnapping kingpin, recover gun, 2 million naira in forest. That's a step in the right direction. Those are the headlines this morning in the national daily. So you want to do well to get you a copy, better still stick around with us as we welcome our analyst this morning to join us. Before then, once again, this is Women Radio 91.7 FM, the voice of women, Nigeria's first and only radio station for women and their families. And you want to call us when the phone lines are open, but in the meantime, send your text messages, your WhatsApp messages, and your voice notes to 0703 1756 537 or 08155 917 917. Remember that we are live on YouTube at WFM 917, and you can listen to us on the go via our website www.wfm917.com. Okay, let us get right into it this morning. Good morning, Buki. How are you?
Yes, Buki is doing great. And like I always say, I have cause to thank God, waking up in the morning and you're fresh. You know, you can see, you can work. I'm not saying those who cannot, but you know, in all things, we just have to give thanks to God for even the breath of life, for waking up in the morning. Yeah, so Buki is doing great. So Newspaper Review family, wherever you are, how are you doing as well? Yes, I hope in all situations, let's just remember to give God the praise. And how are you doing too? Yes, Arsenal. I'm not a football fan, really. I'm not a football, but
Is your husband a supporter of any club?
Yes, but I celebrate with the family, you know, that won, and the other party that did not win. Don't worry, it's on you. That's Man U. Abi, they will. Which one is that one? You are like I said.
Honest, I don't know who they played against. All I know is that one.
I'm not a fan of football, so I don't even sit down to check it. But we celebrate everybody.
Me neither. I don't know. To be honest, I don't know who they played against. All I know is that they won. That's all I know. And
you have said it. By association.
By association, no, that's me. Yes, by association. Okay, let's get into it this morning. We're gonna start off with trying to see. Okay, let's start off easy. This Jonathan situation. And my question really is, what are the things, what does this screening entail? And I'm saying this from the perspective of when I saw that they had given President Bola Ahmed Tinubu a waiver that he's not going to get screened, for the presidency. I was like, why? Because if everybody else is getting screened, why isn't he getting screened? They said, because he got screened in 2022 I was like, but if the rules or if the ethics of it are that they should get screened, why not? And then in this case, Goodluck Jonathan has been given a waiver to contest in the 2027 presidential election under PDP. They're saying that, look, he's been declared and he's been cleared as president, bearing in mind that there's still a lawsuit against him that is seeking to bar him from contesting, because what the person had said was that he had already completed his term. So he completed the 2 terms of the late Yaradua, then did 4 terms, then did 4 years in a term. And so the lawyer was like, so he has already done 2 terms, so to speak, that he cannot come back again, because that means he'll be getting maybe a 3rd term or something like that. But the fact that they're trying to bring Jonathan back, I don't know, because it seems like Nigerians are forgetting what happened between 2011 and 2015 when he was president of Nigeria. But then the fact that they are now waiving, I think my main issue is what is the motive or the morale behind saying that you are granting him a waiver to contest. The same way President Bola Ahmed Tinubu was also granted a waiver and was not screened to contest again as president. But yeah, over to you, Bukim.
Okay, thank you very much. When things happen like this, you refer to the Constitution.
Mm-hmm.
Nigeria has constitutions, rules that bind us, how we behave, what we do. And under that, because I had to quickly go check what it says, and one that has to do with the Electoral Act. Yeah, there are two forms. One is legal, which you have to go through proper screening, and all the metrics are there. The second form is when it is not legal, right? It's a political party screening, and they can decide to waive based on their own laws or constitution, like APC has its own, constitution, so the National Working Committee, they have the power to grant waivers in special circumstances, they said, for example, a ruling party may waive screening requirements for an incumbent president to honor that office. So under special circumstances, it is being waived. You understand? So I think that is the route they are trolling, because President Jonathan, we know, vice governor to governor to vice president to president. So they must have looked at that. But for me, a whole lot of things is just interesting to me, and my own disposition to all these things is until we get to that point where everything is concluded before you really know. Because now a whole lot of dust is being blown. You understand? It has not settled. So you cannot really see so clearly. You can only permutate and all that until the dust settles. When we are done with all the primaries, that that okay, what is now next is for those who have opponents, which one are we voting for? Right now, everybody is just throwing the sand up and all that. Let's look at this issue of Jonathan, really. It's actually interesting for me, because when you look at there are two fractions with PDP.
With the PDP, yeah, the Turaki faction and the Wiki faction, yes.
Exactly. That means that there is a big issue with PDP, because the Wiki faction is saying something else, talking about it that is hypocritical and all that. Yes, I know they are looking at what the law says, but generally, one will say, well, yes, the other fraction is trying to build PDP, put up that strong brand again, which for me, I think they've lost it, right? And they are looking for a unifying, figure. And they probably think, okay, Jonathan has a peaceful image, that yes, I mean, they can make use of him. At this time, you try to look for that step that you will take, that it will make you win. So they are looking at that, but obviously it's just showing that there is a problem somewhere, which is clear to everybody, but it's deep, right? That they're now going to look for Jonathan. Yes, for me, I think it's rumor, but there are people who say, oh, he has gone to collect the form, or there are people who say, oh, it's the group that has collected the form and all that. Well, no problem. Let us see how things are. And really what they are doing right now is that they are even making APC, to take advantage of that, because they may benefit from this PDP uncertainty that is there. So by and large, the opposition party, or the opposition politics, if I can use that, appears personality driven. We are not yet we are not yet at that place where we say this party stands for this ideology. It is still woven around a personality, because by now we've been doing this party politics for a while now, right? We should be able to say this is what PDP stands for, this is what APC stands for, this is what Labour Party stands for. This party stands for welfareism. This party stands for this. This party stands for that. But right now, it's just around personality. Why are they going to look for Jonathan? You understand? For me, that is just a big issue. Now let's look at it again. PDP, this fraction, they gave a waiver. Okay, no problem. You understand? No problem. They gave a waiver, which we have cleared, looking at it from the constitution. But however, you also mentioned it that there is a lawsuit. So the Supreme Court will have to interpret that law. When things are not clear, you have to resort to the judiciary. That's why we have the three arms of government, so they are the ones to interpret the law for us. So we want to wait. And what does the law actually say? Yes, Jonathan has just one more term, because electorally or democratically it was just one term. However, by the law, you are not supposed to come back if you have been sworn in twice. You understand? So that is why the court will have to decide, which is the Supreme Court, will have to decide that law. When he stepped into the shoes of Umar to continue, he was sworn in. And then when he came, 2011 now, when he actually went to the polls, he was sworn in. The court will have to now interpret that law. That is it valid or is not valid? So we leave that to the law, to the court to do that. Yeah. So that's why probably Wike's whatever he's saying, they're just they're just hypocritical or whatever it is. But we wait.
But because he hasn't even come out to say anything verbatim either.
For me, well, I don't see what they see. You understand? We're only trying to be in their world. I don't see why I will come back if I'm Jonathan. I don't see why I will come back. Yeah, depending on where you sit. Some will actually argue to say that, give me the metrics when Jonathan was there. Yes, God favored him. He moved from deputy governor to governor, vice president to president. But I mean, God just smiled on him, right? Because it's God that pulls people up and brings people down. But looking at metrics, what did he actually say? I mean, what did he actually do, rather? You understand, for Nigeria, so depending on where you stand, your perception of his government, what they did. Right now, yes, some people are saying now we now know that Jonathan's time was good, and some will say no, it was not good. They can cite examples of Desiani. How can a minister? Well, yes, that was the only female minister. If my imagination serves me right, and somewhere along the line, I think they're related somewhere along the line. So you can see a bit of what we are talking about, nepotism, tribalism, and all that playing out, which really should not be. But these things do play out. And so that's why I said, depending on where you sit, you could say, oh, he did well, or you could say he did not do well. But you see, for me, it's very clear. Did he actually do well for Nigeria? Yeah. And then, of course, if you also look at Jonathan, this issue of bringing Jonathan back, you understand? Yes, that fraction has said so, candidates, and I've explained why they are looking for him to say, okay, maybe because of this, And also for them, they are looking at somebody that can can brand peace. It can brand peace. And also, don't forget the northern backing. It looks as if they are backing him up such that if the law interprets that yes, he can come back and do one more term, possibly he can come back to the north, which will be in 20, possibly. So that's why I said, everybody's throwing up just now. You understand? Everybody's throwing up just now. And then we could also look at it from the angle of there will be opposition split as well. Jonathan is a Christian, okay, and then you have Obi, Kwakanso, Obi, the
Yeah.
obedience, and all that. So this can actually be like, it can even split the votes. So that's why I said a whole lot of drama is moving on, right? But if you, I will just say one thing, or maybe two or three things. It's a pity that our politics is, I will call it at infancy, where we cannot know the ideology of this party. We ideology of this party. It's not clear. It's as if they are running one ideology, they're just changing clothes. That's why it's easy for somebody to move from one party to another party and they are celebrating wasting resources, even if they say it is not taxpayers' money. That money can't it be used for something else? But see when people are defecting, how they just go galore, money is being spent anyway. It's going into the pockets of some people because it's somebody that will do the stage now, Abby. It's somebody that will do the apparel they are going to wear, the outfit they are going to wear. Somebody is making money, no be so. They are going to give food or packs or whatever it is. Somebody is making money, so somebody is making money. But the question is, even that bulk of money, can't it be used for productive means somewhere? Anyway, that's not the discussion for today. But for me, it's more of what is our role in this? What is our role in this? Honestly, you said everybody should go and get their PVC. And this is where I want to land. Go get your PVC. When you say that the election has been decided, they are going to rig, we know who there. You don't say that. You have that right to go and say, this is the person I want. Either the person wins or not, leave that. But you go, as long as you have PVC. If I can remember, I think maybe less than 30% of the people who had PVC voted. That is wrong. In some countries, it is criminal for you not to vote. Countries like Australia, they will even fine you. In fact, Belgium, I think Belgium, you cannot even, they'll buy you for some years. You cannot even get a government job. Then I think in Brazil, you cannot obtain a passport, you cannot apply for a national ID card, you cannot enroll in a public university, and I think Singapore also has that as well. Something like, probably they will remove you from the official voters register or something like that or something. But what I'm saying is that there are countries that really take, your voting, because it is your right. When you do not use it, then you are allowing somebody to load you, if I can use that word. That's the truth. If you say, oh, I will sit down and be watching the television, I will be analyzing, and then somebody else is deciding for you, it's very wrong. So please do not come out do not say it has been voted. We want you to go vote that day. And if you do not have your PVC, I know they are going to open. I'm not even sure if they've opened it. Please just go, when I think they are still going to open it anyway. So, because new people are going to get to the age of 18, so they have to consider that as well. Go there and get it. If you have issues with your PVC, I know they will do all those processes, at some point. Now, right now, they want to clear all these primaries, elections, and things like that, and we get that done. So that's just my own final word. Let's do what is right, and let's go vote that day. And more often, like I always say, it's not just about president and governor. Let us look at those that are legislating the laws, people that are moving into the House of Assembly, Senate, and House of Rep. They are the ones promulgating the law. Let us go for credible people that can go there. By the time we have 2/3 people that are proactive, you know what that will be now. You understand? A whole lot of things will change. It might not change in the 11th Senate, but by the time we begin to push the right people in, maybe by the 13th Senate, we'll have a critical mass that can think well, and then they can come back and say, we want to change this. Why in this day and age that for you to get a good job, the minimum you probably need is what do you call it? Your tertiary education. And now it's still in our own this thing. We are still saying minimum by YEC. You understand? So some of the laws will have to change, but it will only change with people of new mindset, not old mindset. But gradually we have to push those people in so that later on they become the critical mass. Thank you. And also,
thank you so much.
Yes.
Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, well, I just wanted to say also, please let's look out for our female gender. Thank you.
I like that you brought that up, because I actually did tell myself that I was going to speak to you about this. I wanted you to even come on Political Arena maybe next week or upper week. Hello, good morning. We have a call.
Yeah, good morning, Madam Pumi and Madam Buki. Good morning, Nigerians across.
Good morning, friends. How are you?
Very well. First, I want to thank the two of you for that last submission from you, first submission from you, and last submission, closing remark from Madam Buki. Go and get your PVC and do what you want to do. Whether you like the candidate or he is your candidate or not, get your PVC. Okay? Now, Madam Fumi, I listened to what you analyzed this morning, all the headlines you read out. And I began to wonder, Jonathan, where are you going to? The relevance you got then, I don't know pushing him. I don't know if he has been bought over by the ruling party to disturb our meeting from this side. But please advise yourself. I dropped a letter for him on his DM, and I did an email to him too. I pray he see my email. Where are you going to? You are from South. P2B is from South. We are not looking for your technology that worked for you, according to those that thought it worked for them then, has expired. We need people with modern ideology, modern speed, modern science that can give us what we are looking for. And for people like somebody that bought from and said, I'm not stepping down. I don't want to mention name. Now you call the name that time. I know you are going to commit to the pressure of PDP. You will run secretly to whatever his name is called because he have the money. Please, I want to beg us. Let us speak with one voice, Nigeria. Tinubu government has not failed us, but I don't want to be the one to judge. But I want Nigerians to judge in 2027 and install a good government for my children to enjoy from. And lastly, the teacher that was killed. Fumi, did you hear what your governor said?
I'm listening.
He said, we are ready to listen to the terrorists to hear their own part. And whatever his word now, whatever we can do as a government, we will do. Nigerians, is it not high time we block these people's houses and flog them king? With the security aid of that man, the yard and the vicinity he lives, that they cannot overpower them and kidnap his own children too, if I'm permitted to use that word. Look at the teacher that was beheaded. Look at the 2-year-old child. Look at the woman backing a baby still in the forest. I don't want to go more than this. Politics is a game. I will say my market very well. P2B remains the only idea for Nigeria. God bless us all. See you later in the day. Madam Mobili, thank you for yesterday. I saw your comment on Nigeria Info. That was a beautiful one. And I'm expecting you to talk on this radio this morning. God bless you.
Thank you so much, Prince, for your message, for your contribution this morning. Yes, okay, I was saying that I was going to actually bring you on Political Arena to speak about, the special seats bill and, the lack of representation in the primaries over the weekend. And when I mean the lack, I mean that's the lightest and the best way I can even put it. The gross misrepresentation of women, the lack of women, the absence, it was alarming. But yeah, you can speak about it now. We'll still bring you on Political Arena. Because I've been working on reports on it, and the more I see it, the more appalled I am at it. I think one of the headlines for this morning is even talking about this step down, don't step down thing. And sorry to cut you, if you've been following the Surulere constituency primaries that are going to be happening today, this is even between Honorable Desmond Elliott and Honorable Barakat. And apparently in the previous, that's what, 2023, she was asked to step down for him. And I'm thinking they wanted him to go for a third term. Okay. But why is it the woman you're asking to step down for him? Knowing fully well that we don't have enough women. And then now you're not saying, oh, we don't have women, let's bring that in. But yeah, please go ahead.
Okay, if I can use the word,
yeah,
it's a slap on us, and I will always go back to the women leader, the women political leader. Honestly, I to be honest, I really don't know what they are doing. I think there has to be a reformation on that because they have what it takes. When you begin to say step down, I know someone too. I mean, she came up two elections ago. Yes, 2 elections ago. I was asking her that how far and all that. She said, well, last election, they asked her to step down, and it was getting, a whole lot of traumatic experiences and all that. But this time around, she's not going to agree. It's going to be force by force, and I said, okay, do you have a good strategy?
Mm-hmm.
Do you have a good strategy? I mean, she wants to go into the House of assembly in our state and all that, and then of course there was somebody else again, I mean, that we were in the same what do you call it, in the same class.
We have another call. Hello, good morning. Sorry. Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Madam.
Good morning, Evangelist.
Madam Brooke, my God be blessed. I've been listening to how you started and to where you are. God will lead you. When I listen to people like you, I have hope that this Nigeria, but Nigeria was not like this. When people like you come over, people like Adeton and some other people, like this, some of us who, like yes, they have Nigeria would be what you are expecting. And that's what I always say with you. Always, anytime you talk, you mention God Father, and credible and right people. Because some of us that are talking, we don't know the mind of these people we are conversing for. It's only God knows all of us, know what you are thinking. You may pretend, but when it comes to God, and the one thing is nobody will become a president without God approval. I'm telling you, and the present person that is there today, if God doesn't want it, he does not take God a second to remove him. Remember, Mori Musadia was a president when he died. I said, at least God has given me opportunity this morning. We all should remember whatever we are doing. One day the Bible says, appointed unto my once after the judgment. We do whatever we are doing in the fear of God. There is absolutely nothing in this life. Everything will end in peace. You can do anything and get away here in Nigeria, but can you get away from God? If you have all the money, have everything, how you to spend 150 years? But how will you spend your eternity? We should always do everything in fear of God. These people are just in power. Most of them tell it, what's our geology? I don't want to do what you have just said. I support 101%. Madam Duke, you have saved my mind. Let me not repeat what I all I say, we should always learn to do the right thing anywhere we can. No food that one day God will ask us. Nigeria was not like this before. When the of computers what Nigeria today. It's a little place. Some of them are complaining. Go to a place of work, go to a place of business, see what you're doing. And if you, as a point of further or another, so it's not the back at us. God is watching us at the upper. We cannot be watching us. We should learn to do the right thing instead of it. That's better Nigeria we're looking for. Let it start from you. Let's start from me. Anywhere we are, we do the right thing. Nigeria is the best. If you are doing the wrong thing, praying, our prayers don't know. God is not going to hear our prayer. For fasting and prayer of the sin is abomination. God is watching us. God bless you. God bless you. Thank you. God.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for your contribution, sir. Please go ahead, Buki.
Okay, yes, I was talking about this women issue, and I was relating the second story that I had. I'm still even going to sit with her to find out why she decided, to take that up, because she wanted to run, House of Assembly somewhere in the East. And the report I had, by the time the governor had, it was, no, please, you have to come, let's talk. And they dialogued and they said, you know what, please, you will have to step down. But what they're going to do, they're going to look for an agency that you will head. That is what they call political settlement. I know now, let's face it, we are still patriarchal in the way we think, our mindset. Not many people still believe that politics, environment, a lady can do it. Not many. And in the parties also, because they already have a structure. Step by step,
we have another call. Everybody's angry. It's
a hot, yes. I mean,
hello, good morning.
Yes, Madam Fumi, good morning. This is Mr. Prince on the line. I want to say something, please. My friend just made a call and said everybody should do the right thing. I want to ask Mr. Dixon, did you see the blocked money, Madam Fumi and Madam Buki, the blocked money in brown carton that was being displayed on the table and putting in the agbada? Was that there? Were you there? Who is doing the right thing? Were they the elected people you elected or the ordinary citizen? Madam Fumi, did you see the amount of money that came out? Now, if you go to bank now, all the money the bank has increased because of 2027. No more cash. And it's going to be worse very soon, in the next 2 months. See, when you want to preach Jesus on this radio, this is newspaper headline, not church, not come to the street, to Agba, come to Ikeja here where we live. Come and preach Jesus to people that have no conscience, and they are having leaders that they want those leaders without conscience to still continue ruling them. Hello? The person, the son, can you somebody, I don't want to mention him, the person that is coming out of the governorship, whatever, in some places now, they are about 2 of them, their children are going to the Senate and House of Rep. Are you the one? What is the you preach to me? Have you heard of Mr. Prince carrying gun and guns? Who is the person in charge of the kidnapping in Nigeria? The soldiers in Nigeria. Do we know them or not? Did they have names? Who is to do the right thing? Hello, when we want to check ourselves, please don't preach conscience to people that are not conscious beyond conscience. If you can see the person that they call someone in Lagos, tell him that someone is doing well or you are not doing well. Can you do that? When you see the city boys or APC guys on the road and they are doing what is wrong and sharing what is can you talk to them? And you are talking of conscience. Do the right thing.
All right.
I forgive you this morning.
All right. I know that tensions are really, really high because at the moment it's one thing to be talking about these things, but the moment the primaries started, and once the primaries start, it means that we're now in action, for the elections. So it's like, I know that tensions are really high, but let's just try as much as possible to be, respectful and measured. I get your upsetness, Prince, but let's just try. Because at the end of the day, everyone has a right to their opinion. If Evangelist Dixon believes that, look, it's God that can help us, that's his belief and opinion. I know that you're also a pastor and you believe this, but everybody's entitled to their opinion, right? So
absolutely.
Yeah.
The freedom of expression. You are free to express your faith.
Yeah.
Provided by the Constitution. You don't lord it. You don't harness somebody's hand that it must be my own faith that you must use. And of course, the Constitution is very clear.
Yeah.
For that, what I need to say concerning that nobody is preaching Jesus. I do not want anybody to run with that, with our session here. We attribute our existence to God. It is only a fool that we say there is no God. However, what we are saying is, when we say let's do the right thing, the politicians might not be doing the right thing. But let's look at it. Look at the ratio of the politicians to the ratio of the people they govern. So the ratio of the government to the people they govern. Yes, they have the power. Right? But the people they govern also have the power. We occupy the seats, the honorable citizen seats. And that's why we are saying that, can we do the right thing? We, the governed. As long as you are 18, you have that power, that PVC. Go and vote. Is somebody coming?
Hello, good morning. I think we just got a call. Yeah. Hello, good morning. I just had a notification.
Good morning.
Hello, Mrs. Ozuli. Good morning.
Good morning. Good morning to you and Madam Buki. Good morning to everyone listening. Good morning. Am I audible, please?
Are you what?
Why are you giggling? Tell me, why are you giggling this morning?
Arsenal won. Oh, Arsenal won. That's why I'm giggling.
Congratulations.
Yes, Arsenal won. That's why I'm being very, very hyper. Yes.
Madam Buki, which one be your own party? Oh?
I know get party. I don't even understand what they are doing. I just know that 11 people are always chasing one ball. So 22 people are always chasing one ball. That's all I know.
I wish it is our normal league here we are celebrating. It is well. Congratulations.
It is well.
Quickly, before Madam Buki sums up our submission this morning. I don't know how the trend is presently, but it appears that I have a couple of things I want to say, but there's no time. But quickly, let me just chime in on a couple of things that are really raising concern or posing concern in my mind. The average Nigerian is angry. Madam Buki, Madam Fumi, both of you can relate that the average Nigerian is angry. But in saying that, we should also know that the medium we pass in expressing what we feel should be moderate. Freedom of speech is sacrosanct. We understand that. But I tell you, with what is playing out, you and I, we can get to our parlors and our rooms and just go leave it because of the kind of anger we exude. And so we just want to unleash. That is quite understandable, but moderation, like I said initially, is key. Now, I don't understand the kind of trend now that we have where the women are being pushed out of office or told to step down for the men because we think we have a patriarchal society. When will it start becoming a matriarchal society? In the days of my fathers, it has been patriarchy. In my days now, and even the days of my children, we are still having pronounced and prolonged patriarchy. And I ask myself, at what point will the female voice be heard? One way or the other, it's possible that with the way things are playing out, especially with the white lion. Who is the white lion? What's his name again now? The one that wants to oust Senator Natasha out. Kogi Bello, Yahaya Bello, yes. Kogi State Senator. They want to sideline Senator Natasha now. Now let's relate that, juxtapose that with this Desmond Elliott story. Desmond Elliott is coming in for the fourth term. Should that even be up for discourse on the table in the first place? The answer is no. What was it you could not achieve in 12 years for 3 terms that it is now you want to do? The lady that was told to step down for you, you didn't want to consider her up. So you can help me, explain that proverb.
Yeah.
Well, you want to have felt the process that brought you in. My hypocrisy is higher than that. If a woman steps down for you, Madam Baraka stepped down for you, and now it is now her turn. You say you are going to social media to guilt trip or emotional blackmail people that gave you that chance decisively. I said that is the level of hypocrisy, and I don't feel any form of empathy or sympathy for you whatsoever. I would fault the women that are even saying they are agreeing to stepping down. Madam Buki, I for one know. If I feel it is my turn and I have served my party right and it is my turn, I will not step down for anybody. I won't play second fiddle to anybody. I don't care whose ox is God. If you don't give me what I want in that party, I don't go to another party because I want to serve. How many women do we have representing us in the House of Senate, in the House of Reps? How many? This Baba Sokwe kind of politics we play or run in this country will be the death of us in this country if we don't take time. How come all the pastors that condemned Jonathan during his regime have now suddenly gone mute with the present charade we have playing out, where people are beheaded, where different things are happening? If we don't have anybody in the coffers of power. We are mad, we are crazy, we are livid with anger because what you expect to play out in the politics is not playing out. None of us can fold our arms and keep going and watch how teacher, thank God Madam Buki is an educator. You will go out to search for your daily living, to impact upon the lives of kids, and at the end of the day, you come back home, we thank God. Those who don't come back home, they are beheaded. And we want us to just keep quiet. It's painful. The expression, the frustration, the anger, the everything. But I'm saying this has to stop already. Nobody can go out to represent the women folk the way the women folk wear. Let me wear the high heel shoes. Let me wear the stiletto shoes. Allow me express myself. Don't submerge me. Don't stifle me or shoot me or whip me into silence or whip me into lines. Because I am a woman and I deserve my voice to be heard. Enough of this patriarchy. When will we start having matriarchy? People that have allowed women to evolve in their political spaces. Do you know what they have done at the end of the day? They have raised and built their economy. Nigerians, how far? Good morning, everyone.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Ogoli. Wow. wow. I don't know what to say because each time
she has steered it on.
Yeah.
But wrapping up, this is it. Yes, it's good for us to get angry, but it's also good for us to say, what is the strategy? Love does not win election. What is the strategy that we need to do, aside from the fact that we will keep pushing for that affirmative seats? Because that is the soft landing we can have. Some countries did it, and it's good for them. Because we have found out that they have raised the bar so high. Where else can we come in? Give us reserve seats. You understand? Yes, I know it comes with cost, but that is a big option that we can go for. The next one is, are we ready to fight? And that means that we have to really educate these women leaders. What are they doing? Is it just to wear a shwebi and to bury, Egberi, Emma Corey? You understand? We need to get to that point because they have the power. They are women leader. Do you know how many people are in the political party that are our agenda? But you see, there is a strategy they use. They give them little jobs, little contracts and things like that. So we need to get to that point where we break that thing. That it's not about the contract, it's not about those little jobs and things like that. Well, it's about power. Because when we get there, God who created us equally, that is when I say equally, go look at the statistics of female and male. You'll see 49.1, 51.1, more like 50-50. He knows what he's doing. What you can see, a woman will see it from another perspective, and that is how we build a nation. We are not saying we want to fight for it. We are supposed to be there for things to move. Do you know if we have more women in the law, in the Senate or whatever it is, do you think we are going to agree to all these things that they are beheading people and all that? We will have talked. We will have talked. So in wrapping up, let's calm down. Let us even do the one that we can do. Vote. And that is why I said, shine your eye. Don't just, particularly for people who are promulgating laws, assembly, rep, senate, shine your eye. Be an informed voter, an informed voter. That is, look at the people that are coming up, study them, and go for it. Don't just vote for party. Many a times we vote for party, Atishe, governor, Atishe, president. Oh yeah, anyone goes. Oh yeah, no. Look for the people, check them out, be an informed voter, and bring them into the lawmaking chambers. Then we can begin to have this critical mass gradually. You know, maybe by the time we are saying 13 Senate, we'll have a critical mass that can begin to look at our laws, you know, and do the rightful thing. But right thing, go get your PVC, and if you have it, go the other day and vote. Don't say what you decide. You are the deciding factor. Let's look at it from that angle. Let's do what is right. Less than 30% people voted. I could die now. Let's go there.
All right. Thank you so much. Let's take these messages. Dave Cobb says, good morning to you in the studio on Insecurity Nigeria. I think Southwest governors need to close ranks, have security meetings with traditional rulers, and if possible with Gani Adam and Sunday Igboho, because these criminals have invaded our forest and are deadly. We cannot afford these people to destroy Southwest same way they destroyed the northern region. Thank you so much for your message, Additional Wasiu. Oluchiga Ajayi says, massive respect to Michael Arteta on the incredible job he's done over the past 6 seasons. Doubt, skepticism, panic have been replaced with hope, belief, confidence. This is with the win of Arsenal. Most importantly, this incredible feat came with, okay, he's congratulating Arsenal, basically. Congrats to Arsenal. Lastly, we have, thank you, Madam Obili, that's my lady of the year, Prince Hills from Kecha. All right. We have gone way past our time, but thank you so much, Buki Femi Ajala, for coming on the program today. Like I said, we'll bring you on Political Arena, or maybe we should even have a whole day to just talk about women representation, even on the daily news review in the morning. I'll figure out the logistics of that, and then we can get into that, because it needs to be talked about and it needs to be said. Because I think we've even gone way past the special seats bill right now, because if they haven't passed this bill and we're seeing primaries and no women representation, Kilo Tuku. Anyway, 9 o'clock is the news. 9:05 is her lens. Lastly, before we go, our Children's Day is 1 week away from today. So you want to take your children to Arepo Community Primary School in Arepo. The ticket is just 5,000 naira. So bring them on Wednesday at Arepo Community Primary School. Register. There's going to be plenty games for them. On that note, see you at 9 o'clock for the news. 9:05 her lens. Bye for now.